Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be evaluating piecewise graphically. Before we were doing it algebraically, a lot of people like graphically better though. So let's see if you're one of those people. We're going to start at first. I want you to realize that this is F and this is G, so just keep that in mind as we're going along. The first question is G of 2. Now remember, whenever something is in parentheses, we're looking at the X value, so I'm plugging in 2 right here. I'm looking at the X value, so I'm looking at the X axis right here. Notice the tick marks go straight up, so I'm going to be drawing lines straight up. Okay, so I'm going to go to 2, and at 2, on the X axis, on G, I'm just going to draw a straight line up and down. And I can see that there's actually already a point right there, and the point has the Y value of 0. So G of 2 is 0. And that's because we're looking at the Y value at the point that is at the X value of 2. All right, let's look at F of 3. So I'm going to go to 3 on my X axis. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw a line going straight down. And whatever point I hit right there, I'm going to write down the Y value. So here at 3, I have the Y value of -2. So my answer to F of 3 is -2. Okay, let's look at G of 5. So going to 5 on G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's weird. I'm not hitting any points. So guess what? This does not exist. So G of 5 is just no solution, does not exist, or whatever you want to write there. Easy enough. Okay, let's look at F of -3. So I'm going to go to -3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to draw my straight line right there. This one is a little bit strange because it looks like it hits 2 points, right? It's hitting this point right up here, and it's also hitting this point down here. But, as you can probably see, this one isn't really a point. It's an open circle, which we're going to call a hole. So what this means is there's actually not a point there. What happened is this function was going along its merry way, and then that point went, nah, I'm going to be up here. So it jumped up to this point right here, and this has the X value, or the Y value of +2. So again, we don't use this point, we don't use -4, because this means there's not a point there. So we do need to use this point up here, which is at +2. Okay, let's do another one. G of -2. So I'm going to go to -2 on G, 1, 2, and I'm going to draw my straight line. Same thing is happening here, but one of the points is a hole. So this is our hole. That means we're going to use this point down here, which is at the Y value of -2. Okay, and let's look at these next two. They're a little bit more complex, but they're still not too bad. So first we're going to find F of -1. So I'm going to go to -1 on my F graph, and I can see that this is hitting that point right down there, which is at the Y value of -3. So this is going to be 2 times -3. Now let's find G of -2. So I'm going to go to -2, and I've actually already solved for that value. We got -2, so it's going to be 1/2 times -2. And now we can begin to solve this out. 2 times -3 is -6. -1/2 times -2, that's the same thing as dividing by -2. So -2 divided by -2, you get +1. And -6 plus 1 is -5. A lot easier than the algebraically version. Okay, so let's do this last problem here. And it's kind of unfortunate that it's G. So let's just change that because it looks a little funky to me. Let's just say this is H instead, because it looks like it's G times, but it's actually not. That's just the problem number. So it's F of 1. So let's go to F of 1. I can see that that is hitting this point right here, which has the Y value of -1. So it's going to be -1 plus 2 times G of -4. So let's see what G of -4 is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's hitting that point up there, so we're going to look at the y value, which is at positive 2. So it's going to be 2 times positive 2. And it's going to be negative 1 plus 2 times 2, which is 4. So we're going to get 5. Okay, so the only thing that you're doing with these, it's actually the same thing as evaluating functions. You're going to go to the x value, draw your imaginary line straight up and down, see what point you hit, and look at the y value and just write that down. And that is it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be very happy to help out. And have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.